Hello, beautiful people. My name is Siim, and I'll share a 2-minute story why I decided to join Elsavi both as a board member and as an investor. So, for over 20 years, I've been creating digital value propositions for customers, and that's a lot of work with mind, but some work with body and soul, going to retreats, trying different enhancement techniques, trying all sorts of drugs like many of you. But it wasn't quite stable high. I realized that internal body is driving some instability. And sometimes it really crushes with all your mental power. It just drives you off the route. So I wanted to investigate what's going on in the body and how I could influence it. And I realized that the vagus nerve is a magical thing that connects your internal organs to your brain. And in fact, we cannot influence much of our internal organs with the brain. In fact, it's quite the opposite. The bacteria in your guts, the last mile, the last meter, is something that really drives the performance of your brain. We can influence a bit of biochemistry, but it's a short-term effect. In long-term effect, you still have the microbiome, the bacteria in your guts, and what's going on there. And it's a quite widespread issue. Over 40% of population across the world are suffering because of gut dysbiosis, different imbalances in the gut. So it's a global issue, and that creates a lot of health issues. So I was wondering how to solve it. And luckily, we had a scientific lab in Estonia that had developed some algorithms around DNA analysis and so forth. So we were looking to ways how to commercialize that scientific knowledge. And the first part of the solution is the microbiome test. So you take a stool sample in your toilet, you send it to our lab, fill a quick questionnaire, and we give you a really personalized feedback based on that sample. And it's based on 16S DNA sequencing, which means it's not only looking for specific markers, but it looks the whole billions of different bacteria you have within your guts that are influencing your mind and your body and your soul, and giving you immediate feedback on that and tips how you could treat those bacteria. So the third part of the solution is the food for bacteria. So you can feed the good bacteria and challenge the, so to say, the bad bacteria to keep them really in balance, so they keep your whole body and brain in balance. So the fiber supplements is something. So essentially, I'm in love with it because we created a digital value offer that tracks your microbiome and gives you really personalized nutrition advice and giving the supplements that keep you stable high. You just take 2 spoons a day and you have a stable, positive high. So we have a booth back there, and we're happy to meet you and your microbiome in your booth. So before we have a challenge, before we have a surprise guest, let me play a quick video about how it goes. So if the crew can put on a video, and then we can have a
that your physical and mental well-being depends strongly on what's going on in your gut. Like every other aspect of your life, your gut also needs to be in balance so you can thrive. The first thing you can do to support the balance of your healthy gut is to understand what your gut needs the most. Elsavi Gut Secrets Microbiome Test will help you do just that. Our team of world-class scientists are working every day to find connections between your gut bacteria and health, as well as foods that benefit you. To support your gut balance even more effectively, you can also start feeding your gut bacteria with functional fiber supplements, as this is what they eat, and clinically tested probiotics to help the good bacteria grow. Change your gut. Change your life. Visit elsav.com to order our Gut Secrets Microbiome Test. It would be nice to meet you and your microbiome.
Oh, say a warm round for our surprise guest, Mr. Teemu.
Who wants my poo?
Who wants to try out his microbiome?
By the way, this is not the first time I've been sending, samples of my toilet visits to someone. This is what biohackers do. But what I really like about this product specifically is that at this price point, you're getting so much information on, the composition of your gut bacteria and good advice when it comes to the different nutrients, foods that might be, beneficial or not, but also like then understanding what fibers you should take, because it's quite tricky to choose, what is some fiber good for me. There's all this talk about prebiotics, but you have to really know what are those guys living in your gut. And the test result is super self-explanatory, but you also get consultation from an expert who can then go through the results and explain to you in detail. So I think this is an amazing product. Thank you for making it. So my question to you is what is kind of the key thing that you have personally learned from testing your own gut microbiome? Like, what have you done? Like some really practical life change or something like this? Like, what is the results that you see in your case?
Sure. Yeah. Overall, there's so much information out there. Intolerance is everything that I have tried so many different diets and had a short-term effect. And actually, for myself, I realized that a lot of the change is happening on the mind level. But actually, whatever I change on a mind level, still the gut has a plan on his own. So if I can finally get in touch with the bacteria in the gut and give them right type of food, and turns out, for example, lactose, I don't have intolerance, although I thought I have. So, but as opposite, I need to feed certain milk products to my gut, so they help me to perform better. So a lot of biases from my head is now away.
What I have learned is that we have, these probiotics. So you have like certain lactobacillus strains, for example,
Precisely.
and we think of those as good bacteria. But there is actually also a limit of what is good. Like you can go overboard with certain things, and then a good bacteria becomes an opportunistic one. So actually the healthy diversity of the gut microbiome is linked to good immunity, longevity, and all that. So thank you very much for making this awesome product. So if you're interested, take a look at it at Elsavia stand. And we are also distributing this, by the way, now in Finland because I'm a fan. So thank you very much.
Yes, Biohacker Store.
Cheers,
Grab it from there. Cheers.
Cheers.
Thank you.